Let's talk about the character of God. Habakuk 2:2, the answer comes. He says, hey, write the revelation down, make it plain, grind it into tablets so that a herald may run with it. When God responds to you, it's worth writing down. So he's going to give you answers about your future when you ask him, and it's worthy of putting down on paper. I had a great friend tell me one time, don't expect God to do it if he says it to you and you don't value it enough to write it down. What does writing it down do? It allows me to make a plan for it, to look out and project my life in the direction God has told me to project it. So what happens if I don't write it down? Then when the winds come and the mess comes my way and troubles and problems and issues happen, I can begin to change what God said to fit the situation. But if I write it down clearly, I don't change it. I look at it every day and know this is what God said. So for starters, if you're looking for direction from God and you ask him and he gives you an answer, put it down in your journal, write it on paper, type it up, print it out, put it on the refrigerator, because the end of Habakuk 2:2 says, even though it lingers, even though it holds on and it waits, it is for an appointed time. When God speaks to you and gives you an answer, it's for an appointed time. You can bet on it. So grab hold of that today and know that God's got an answer for you, but it's worth writing down. So when we look at that and we realize it's worth writing down, and this is a plan that God has given us, this is a direction he's given us, then what do we do with that? How do we grab that and hold on to it? Well, listen to this. It's kind of like a bullseye. It's kind of like if you would put a bullseye up because you want to shoot something at it, or you want to draw an arrow back and fire it at it. That outer ring, I want you to think about the outer ring, because that's like, where do I see myself in 5 or 10 years? What am I projecting for the long term? What am I projecting down the road? Do I want to pay my house off in 5 or 10 years? Do I want to own my car outright? Do I want to buy my first house? Do I want a long-term relationship by then? But that outer ring is just that. It's distant. What am I feeling in the spirit? What have I heard from God? What did I write down? And then you can plan for that long term. But listen, you only need to work on that every 90 days or so. Your everyday things work toward it, but every 90 days or so, revisit that, look at it, just check it out. Then that next ring, that inner ring, that's, man, what do I see a year from now? What do I smell on the wind? What do I feel change coming? Now listen, that deserves a little more attention, because we're talking about just 12 months away. We're talking about maybe just the next season of my life. I always say your next is better than your now, but you got to get your now right if you want to go into your next. So how do we balance that and work on it? I would work on what's coming in a year at least once a month. At least once a month. Maybe think about it once a week, but do some work on it about once a month. Then you got the bullseye. You got that now, that immediate. I got to pay the house note this month. I got to get some grocery money. I need to get a new cell phone right now because mine is broke. That's that bullseye. That deserves your laser focus. That's what you get up and you work on every day. What has God said to me? Because it's for the future, it's for next year, but it's also for my right now. And how do I align these three things so that God can have his best plan in my life? Remember, he said, hey, even if it tarries, you hang on because it's coming. I want to encourage you today that God has answers for you. You can't just pie in the sky, make stuff up. You've got to go to him and say, Lord, what does my future hold? God, what do you see in my life? What do you see in my 5 years or my 1 year? What do you want me doing right now? But more than anything else, if you just sit on your tail, it is never going to come. You've got to get up and work for it. So, hey, that's what your bullseye's about. I'm Derek. This is the Fuel Cast, and I want to see you on the next video.